P.S. We've got things to do. P.S. Nobody writes letters anymore. Hi, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing Netflix's original movie based on a book. It's the sequel. It's called
To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You. The sequel will explore Lara Jean and Peter's relationship. It's a new year and Lara Jean and Peter are no longer pretending to be a couple. They are a couple.
In our relationship, I am the one who loves romantic comedies more than this lady over here. And I love her for it because it makes watching romantic comedies very interesting. So I love films. I have a really guilty pleasure of films like 10 Things I Hate About You. I love all of those really kind of cheesy stuff. I give them the break that they're due because people going into those films know what they're going to get. So if you're on board so far and you've watched the first of the PS letter stories, letter movies based on a novel that is for young adults, then you're probably still on board now. However, if you're just coming into this and you're watching it with your partner, it's the Valentine's movie you're going to choose, and you're thinking, maybe this won't be as cheesy as it looks like it's going to be. Why didn't you tell them about what you thought about this movie?
Oh my goodness. Get out your grater. There's going to be so much cheese. You can make so many pizzas. It wasn't for me. Let's just put it that way. There was a lot of groaning. And are we done yet? When does this movie end? And oh my goodness, shut up! That's what was going on for me.
I will be honest. I thought this was hard going. It's very long. It's very drawn out. It takes a long time for the characters to get to where they need to have that realization of who they actually want to be with and what's actually going on in their lives. It's also hard to really relate to these characters because they all live in houses that are extremely lavish. They live in these worlds where they all have expensive cars and life seems to come easy to them. So there's this demographic of young adult people who are dealing with love for the first time. And I think that's quite a niche grouping of people. I don't want to say it's Americanized because I don't even think that's true. I think it's for like a rich percentage. It's there's a percentage of people that this is definitely a demographic for. I think if you're a young adult and you love romantic novels, stories adapted, if you love the book, you'll probably get something out of this. Like I said, if you like the first film and you like the book, you're probably going to like this. You're on board already. But if you're coming into this and you're thinking maybe I can withstand it, I love...
Withstand it.
Withstand it is probably an accurate term for this film. I do love romantic rom-coms. I have a soft spot. That's not a word.
Wow.
I have a soft spot, just a tiny one, in my heart for them. And I thought this was really tough going. There are particular characters or actors that I really like in this. I didn't relate really to any of the young actors, although I prefer the young boyfriend, who seems to be a really nice guy, and I like him. I didn't like the female or the way that she was portrayed or what she had to work with in their character, who she was as a person. I found really difficult to relate to. But there were some adults in this that I thought were really fantastic. There's one particular lady, Holland Tyler. I've seen her in lots of TVs and TVs. I've seen her in lots of TVs.
Yes,
she just hangs around in TVs.
Yeah.
I've seen her in TV shows and TV series and movies, and I've always liked her. She has good on-screen presence, and whenever she was in this film, in those moments, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief because you're like, this part's going to be at least good. It's going to keep my attention. And it was true that when she was on screen for those parts, she kept my attention. But I think if you're a 40-year-old like me with a beard and South African and don't have that sort of money to your name, which it seems like that this demographic is definitely for, you might find it particularly hard to relate to.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that it's all bad, because it's not. There's nothing wrong with this film. It's like, it's well made-ish. It's like, if you take, this is really, really terrible, and this is really, really awesome, it's like, meh, it's in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not awesome. It's in the middle. Nothing that they've done is like really terrible. They have some lovely little dance sequence-y, musically type numbers that I thought were well done. Like everything is done good. It's just like, my frustration is just I guess that's the whole point of the movie, isn't it? It's like they're growing up.
Yeah.
And I just want them to flipping well grow up. You know? Like, seriously, woman, what is wrong with you?
Wow. Don't hold back, babe.
I didn't hold back.
Talking about how it's put together, there are actually some really creative shots which I was really impressed with, but you can see that my brain was sidetracking to, let's look at the expertise of how this film was made.
Yeah.
So there were some contra zooms which I was really impressed with, especially one particular one when two people are having a conversation. I'm not doing any spoilers, and they're separating from each other, and they drew back the particular shot. That was really creative. There was a contra zoom, which is like this sharp follow focus, and your background is drawing out, and I thought, hey, that's a very nice way to show that when they go into particular musical number because of one particular character who's going through a depression state because he doesn't like me anymore. There was a really clever shot in that, and I thought, wow, okay, so they've really gone for some creative techniques. The acting isn't bad. I thought for what they were given and what they're trying to do, it's fine. There wasn't that much exposition in the head, which a lot of these rom-coms do have, and so that's another tick. So I think I agree with you. They're going to be a set group of people who really enjoy this.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine.
That's fine.
If this hits you where you're at in your personal journey in life, perfect. You're going to love this film. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. In fact, it has a decent ending. So, I mean, we screamed at the TV for a little while, and then we were okay with the ending. So it's not so bad.
No, I didn't like the ending.
You didn't like the ending.
I was just so frustrated. I thought, how can you be that sort of person that does that sort of person for you to realize what you need to go through? What about everybody else?
Yeah, it is very selfish. It's very selfish. It's very self-indulgent. But hey, that's what 16-year-olds are.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody can deny that. I have yet to meet a completely selfless, fully actualized, realized 16-year-old. It's a process. So that's what this film is
Hey,
about.
I'm still selfish.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit selfish, if we're honest.
Need to quote that song and turn it from Everybody's a Little Bit Racist to Everybody's a Little Bit Selfish sometimes.
Everybody is.
Yeah, so I'm not coming down hard in this film. It's going to be in two groups. You're either just really going to hate this. If you love cheese stuff and you love rom-coms, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
It kind of says what it is on the tin.
I should also probably just give a caveat that I was really grumpy this morning. And Ruben was like, come, you need to watch this with me so we can review it. And I was like,
So yeah, your frame of mind
definitely does
how
affect
you
how
watch
you
things.
enjoy the movie. I ended up on Pinterest, I have to admit.
Yeah, so take everything we say with a pinch of salt. You might love this, and I really hope you do. For someone that actually really likes rom-coms and gives them the time of day that they deserve, because people obviously put a creative process into this and love this sort of thing, I thought it was difficult to get through. So I'm going to give this a C. I think it's in the middle of the road.
Wow. I was going to go with a C+.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't like it. What's wrong with you?
I didn't say... Wow.
You know,
What?
I think you were enjoying it until I clearly wasn't enjoying it. And then I influenced you.
No.
I don't influence you?
Let's leave our marriage stuff off the camera, please.
Okay. And now he's upset.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments below whether you think we're talking a lot of rubbish.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing
probably.
film, or if you thought along the same ways this was pretty tough to get through. We'd love to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching our rabblings, but most of all, until next time, remember,
Live long and Tuesday. It's like being in a boat with like chocolate oars in a warm milk river, and your oars are melting and you're not going anywhere. I felt like that a little bit sometimes.
Wow, it's a really creative.
Because it was so sweet. It was like everything was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
There was like in my mind I can see this warm milky river with like Cheerios. Lots of Cheerios and lots of sweeties and candies, and my chocolate boat is melting and I'm dying.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.